Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 14340 Southeast Brooklyn Street here in Portland. We're located down in the basement at the rear foundation wall. We have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout right between the sink and the water heater. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. I'm going to zero out the camera length counter right here at the base of the clean out and stack. Here we go. And again, the line here is exiting out the rear foundation. And it looks like it transitions here over to 4-inch ABS plastic immediately upon access. And hopefully the line has had a full update done to it. We do have a belly here in the line. We'll have to check this out on the way back when the line's all drained. I'm not even sure the sink upstairs is tied into this yet. Transitions here at 57 feet over to 6-inch PVC pipe. Here at about 84 feet, I'm not going to push all the way into the main, there's a big cobweb there, but 84 feet out we have hit the main lateral. I'm going to do locates to verify where the line terminates, and then we're going to let the, so what's going on here, we've had the kitchen sink running this entire time, and as you can see here in the flow line, maybe we're starting to get some water catching up here. I mean, there's just hardly any water flow whatsoever moving through. We have the sink upstairs running on full bore, and it's got good flow. It's not a crappy sink volume or anything like that. So I'm concerned about how little water we're getting moving past the camera at this point. All right, located the camera. The line actually wraps around. Looks like it goes around the left side of the house and then out to the main lateral on Southeast Brooklyn Street. Anyway, for a line that wraps around a house, it's very, very short. Usually they're about 110 feet long at least, so this is great. It's not a whole lot longer than an average line would be. I just put a flush down the line here. What's going on is the kitchen sink upstairs is completely clogged. So it's not letting any water almost whatsoever going through. So I just did a toilet flush here to put some water down the pipe. And that's it moving past the camera there. You can see how weak that is. Even at a distance of about 80 feet out, a toilet flush should look much, much stronger than that. Of the line. So anyway, we're going to reel back here and take another look at that. But again, that belly was a prime example, or at least what it will look like at any given time, because we had no water actually going down the line there. And there was about 2 inches of standing water or so there. Typically, once you get to about 5 feet or more of pipe with 3/4 to 1 inch of water, is typically where I see just regular old toilet paper start building up in the line, not just things like paper towels and baking grease and stuff like that. And also we can't use the basin sink down here because it has a leaking trap. Now this is right there in the line, so I just kind of moved out of the way there. Another item needs to be avoided hugely are tampons. They will clog a line up like crazy. Now this right here just appears to be some kind of debris that will make its way out with a couple toilet flushes. Alright, looks like we're approaching, we're coming into the belly here. Let this water kind of settle into place. And it doesn't start really free draining until you get to about 28 feet, 29 feet. I'm going to call it 29 feet. That's where I'm still seeing ripples in the water. I'm going to go locate and get this marked. I'll put an X at either end of the repair. I'll mention the depth and location in a bit. Alright, so this took me a minute here to figure out. So the line is actually, once you go into the clean out here, it only looks like it's going out the back of the house. It actually does a full turnaround and ends up going back underneath the basement floor and out the front. It's a very, very interesting setup. Don't see that very often. Anyhow, so right here we're about a foot from the front foundation wall. So the belly itself essentially stops as soon as it leaves the foundation. The belly here is all underneath the basement floor. We're about 3 feet 8 inches deep at this point right here, and it looks like the belly extends out here to about, after it's all settled in, at about 29 feet, 28 feet. I've had to kind of reel the camera back in further than that because you can't locate it. You've got to have it far enough away from the wall you can get the locator over the top of it properly. So anyway, I tried to put some painter's tape marking down on the ground. Again, about 3 feet 8 inches deep there. It's quite deep for under a basement floor. I'm getting consistently across here just about 4 feet deep actually. It's down there a little ways. But I locate here at 4 foot 2 inches deep. Again, the water level here, it's sunken by about 2 to 3 inches. There's a lot of standing water in the line. I think it's hovering right around 2 inches. I'm doing this, it's a trick where you pull the camera back really quickly. If you don't see that water level suck down below the camera lens, it's at least 2 inches of standing water, which is very significant. It's a lot. Alright, put another marking here. I think that hopefully is where our belly ends at right there, or starts, I mean. And yeah, we're just about back to the clean out here, so. Alright, so our belly starts here at about 9 feet and extends to about 29. It's about a 20-foot section of the line here. It's quite a bit, and you've got about 2 inches of standing water throughout most of it. The last like 6 feet or so has about a half to 3/4 of an inch, or no, I'm sorry, about 3/4 to 1 inch as it tapers off. But you can see here when you look down the pipe from this vantage point how high up towards the top of the pipe that's going there. It may actually completely get to or go all the way up to 4 inches, but for the most part, it's hovering around 2 inches of water, which is a lot. This is one of those that you're going to have to either repair or keep an eye on a lot, and be very, very mindful as to what goes down the line, because this can clog very easy. And the bummer here is if you get a clog in this spot, it's within the home, so your backup is going to be basically instantaneous. So I do highly recommend this get fixed. I've got about 4 markings down on the ground where the line is running. Again, it's big, across the whole thing here, it's about 4 feet deep. And the belly stops as soon as the line gets outside the house. So the belly does extend all the way underneath the foundation wall as well. I put a T marking right here. I know that's a transition point, but that just basically shows it ends up looking like a T anyway, where the repair starts. And it starts just on this little room just before the room here with the water heater. Recommend that be corrected. If a repair is not done, I highly recommend doing a rescope in 6 months after moving in to see what it looks like at that point. Make sure you're not getting a significant amount of debris building up that you need to get jetted out of there. So, and I recommend a rescope after any repair work is done to ensure it was done correctly. I'll try and show that here at the camera, the direction it's headed. Yeah, sorry for the confusion there, thinking this thing, the clean out's aimed right out the back of the house here, but it ends up turning around on itself shortly after going in, and then it comes right through this room here, and this T marking is where the belly starts at, and it shoots right through that wall and then out through the front foundation wall. So from that T there out to the foundation wall is where the belly's at. I do recommend that be fixed. Aside from that, the rest of the line is in good condition and has good flow.